Hello again, welcome to today's attempt of a Stepdle puzzle. On this day in 1952, the author Douglas Adams was born, most well known for the really famous Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. The answer to life, the universe and everything, of course, is 42. That's where that comes from. So to mark the occasion of his birth, I'm going to be using some words as my starting guesses that appear in the titles of his books. He hasn't got that many really famous books, but I've found a few titles. Starting with So Long and Thanks for All the Fish. So we will start with fish. And that gave me 4 greys, which is a risk that I knew I was taking. I thought I might not get 4 greys, but we'll stick with the same title and just go for long. So Long and Thanks for All the Greys. Now that's a bit annoying because I don't have a third title lined up. Let's just go for... Well, I'm going to go for Dark, because he also has a book that I'm going to use later on called The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, which is in the Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency series. So a different series to the Hitchhiker's Guide, but still one of his books. Relatively well known. I think Dirk Gently was a series on Netflix or something. So yeah, we'll use Dark. It's 4 new letters. And finally, we've got a tiny bit of light. We've got 1 letter correct. And it's not in the right place. So we need to move it around. We're going to need to use the E or the U, or perhaps both. Everything I think of has got the R in third. I want to do pure, because it tries both the remaining vowels. Let's try true, because at least that moves the R around. Right, we don't even have a U. So the E is probably going to be third. So let's pray that this is correct. I know that's the wrong spelling of pray for that sentence, but anyway, it was correct. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, of course, so we'll go for guide. Oh, and now we've only got the U. That's quite unexpected. Let's move it along. We've got a U. It's quite likely to be third, I think, but it's not. That is interesting. It's also not something like fruit, for several reasons. So is the U first or fourth? It's definitely not going to be fifth, is it? I'm thinking an OUR ending. The trouble is, where would we put the T if that's the case? Because we can't try flower. Let's just try ultra then. Oh, that was an ultra good guess. I couldn't think of anything that worked with the U in fourth, so I went for the first thing I thought of that had it in first. It couldn't have been utter, because we'd ruled out the E, so therefore ultra it was. Very happy that was correct. Now, mostly harmless. I could go for galaxy, but I think Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is really well known. Let's go for mostly from mostly harmless, which is also a book in the same series. And it's paid off a little bit. We've got 3 letters. None of them is in the right place, but beggars can't be choosers. I was going to try loiter, but I don't want the O in second, and I don't want the T in fourth. But apart from that, it was a great guess. I could still, I suppose, try and think of something that's an ED or an ER ending. Maybe I should try an ET ending or an EL ending, because at least then I've used up one of the letters that I know is definitely correct. Closet would have almost been a great guess, but we've ruled out the S. I'm not sure I can think of anything else that uses the O and the L and is an ET ending, so I'm going to have to give up on that idea. But what am I going to try instead? Oh, how about trowel? Oh, horrible! We've learnt absolutely nothing new on that. We've ruled out a few more letters, and we've ruled out some new positions for the letters we already had, but that is not what I was hoping to see. Outlet would have been a good guess as well. It wouldn't have liked to duplicate the T, but it still could be an OUT beginning. If it is OUT, then the L is definitely fourth. Outlag? I don't think it's likely to be correct, but let's see if it accepts it. It can't be outlay, that's a much more common word, but we've ruled out the Y. Will it accept this? No. Outlap? Oh, a didn't think these would be correct. I just wanted to get some more information, but I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board. Could be an LT ending, but then the O would have to be first or fourth. That feels a bit less likely if it's an LT ending. I'm thinking something like abrupt. Well, that's not an LT ending. Maybe something like adult, but 6 letters. Anyway, so what am I going to go for? Probably I want the L, O and T in those positions. Do I? Oh, it could just be an LOT ending, couldn't it? Let's try ballot. Oh, there we go. Again, the first thing I thought of that was actually a word. That was quite restricted. I just didn't think of using those 3 letters that I had as the last 3 positions quickly enough. But anyway, we got there in the end. Right, I said I would mention this book again, The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul, part of the Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency series. So let's go for tea time. I think in the title of the book is hyphenated or just 2 words, but I was pretty sure that tea time would be accepted in this game because it's usually 1 word. So I'm glad that it let me go for it. What are we going to do next? Let's just go for Admiral. Don't like duplicating the A, but it tries new positions for all of the letters I've got so far. Ooh, that's turned out to be a really good guess, hasn't it? Everything's in the right position, so surely we'll be able to get it right on the next guess. Is the L going to be first, second or 5th? And is the R going to be last? It feels quite likely that the R is last. Trouble is, we know there's no more A's or E's, and we're definitely going to need another vowel to go in first or second, aren't we? So is that going to be an I, O or U? So I'm thinking something like that. The L could be in second. Olmidar. I mean, that just feels like a Spanish word rather than an English word. I suppose it could be an LAR ending, but then what would the first 2 letters be? Looks. I think I'm just thinking of familiar, because that's a familiar word, but it can't be correct. But similar could be. Similar is a familiar word that is similar to familiar and is correct. So it's a shame I got a little bit stuck with those greys at the start, because that's a really good 3-3-3 ending. Very happy with the way that's ended up. Took a little bit of thought, some of those though, but still very happy to get it with not too many guesses used up. That is the Stepdle puzzle. Thank you for watching, and now so long, and thanks for all the fish. Bye for now.